Everyone loves Dwayne Johnson, the people's champ, the man who went from WWE arenas to ruling Hollywood. His smile sells tickets, his muscles sell dreams, and his Instagram sells motivation. But behind the charm is a far more complicated man. Whispers of secret deals, broken ties, and hidden temper follow him everywhere. To fans, he's invincible. But insiders say even The Rock has cracks in his stone, and when they show, the world may see a Dwayne Johnson it never expected. Before Hollywood, The Rock was the king of WWE. But backstage, the reality was far less glamorous. Reports claim he clashed with other wrestlers, some calling him arrogant, others accusing him of pulling political strings to push himself to the top. His rise to fame was lightning fast, too fast, according to veterans who spent years in the ring. Whispers spread that The Rock wasn't just charismatic, he was calculating. While the fans cheered his electrifying promos, fellow wrestlers saw a man protecting his spot at any cost. Some said he was destined to be a legend. Others said he stole the spotlight. Even today, debates rage in wrestling circles. Was he truly the people's champ, or was he always playing a role to outshine the rest? In Hollywood, Dwayne Johnson became a blockbuster machine, churning out hit after hit. But insiders say behind that success is a man obsessed with control. His contracts reportedly include unusual demands. He doesn't want his characters to lose fights. He negotiates exactly how many punches he can take, and he avoids scenes that make him look weak. Directors whisper that it's less about acting and more about brand management. To fans, he's a hero. To studios, he's a product, carefully protected at every step. This control has sparked tension with co-stars and creative teams. Some call it smart business. Others say it makes him impossible to work with. But one thing is clear, The Rock never lets anyone script his downfall, not even on screen. And then, there are the feuds. Hollywood is full of rivalries, but The Rock's battles are on another level. The most infamous? His war with Vin Diesel during the Fast and Furious franchise. Johnson blasted unnamed co-stars for being unprofessional, and everyone knew who he meant. Their feud became one of Hollywood's worst-kept secrets, dividing the cast and nearly tearing the billion-dollar franchise apart. But that wasn't the only clash. Whispers of ego fights with Tyrese Gibson, tense negotiations with producers, and power struggles on set keep surfacing. The Rock smiles for the cameras, but behind them, not everyone sees him as the nicest guy in Hollywood. Some see him as a powerhouse. Others see him as a problem no one dares to challenge. Away from the spotlight, Johnson's personal life has its own cracks. His first marriage to Dany Garcia ended quietly, but insiders say his growing ego, lifestyle changes, and career obsession pulled them apart. Soon after, he began a relationship with Lauren Hashian, and gossip swirled about whether there was overlap between his past and present. Then there are the whispers about his early years. Rumors of steroid use, risky choices, and controversies swept under the rug during his wrestling career. He now presents himself as a clean, family-first man, but critics question how much of that image is real and how much is carefully managed PR. Every smile hides a shadow, and the bigger the light, the bigger the shadow it casts. Behind Dwayne's brand lies an empire worth hundreds of millions. His tequila company, his fitness ventures, his production studio, all designed to make him untouchable. But insiders whisper that this empire comes with ruthless decisions. Friends turned business partners, then turned enemies. Deals signed, then broken when money came first. His grind is legendary, but it leaves casualties in its wake. Some admire his hustle. Others see a man willing to sacrifice relationships for empire. For every fan that cheers him on, there's someone behind the scenes who paid the price for his rise. The empire is strong, but it's built on more than just sweat. It's built on secrets too. So who is Dwayne Johnson really? To the millions who adore him, he's the people's champ, the motivator, the hero who makes you believe anything is possible. But to those who've seen behind the curtain, he's a man obsessed with control, haunted by feuds, and driven by ambition that never stops. His wrestling past, his Hollywood feuds, his business empire, his personal shadows, they all tell us that The Rock we see may be his greatest performance yet. Maybe fans love him not because he's perfect, but because he hides the imperfections so well. The truth is, every empire has cracks. And one day, when The Rock's mask slips, the world will see just how human this giant really is. Taylor Swift is America's sweetheart, the small-town girl with the guitar who turned heartbreak into an empire. Her face fills stadiums, her lyrics define a generation, and her name is written in music history. But behind the glitter and Grammys lies a far more complicated reality. Whispers of staged romances, industry feuds, and iron-fisted control follow her like shadows. Fans see her as a lyrical genius, but insiders see something else. A master strategist, building her empire one scandal at a time. The truth? Taylor Swift isn't just writing songs, she's writing the script of her own myth, and not all the chapters are pretty. Taylor's love life has always been her biggest headline. From Joe Jonas to Jake Gyllenhaal, Harry Styles, John Mayer, Calvin Harris, and her 6-year relationship with Joe Alwyn. Every romance is played out in front of cameras. Every breakup becomes a single. Every heartbreak fuels an album. But critics whisper that not all of these relationships were organic. Some insiders claim certain romances were publicity stunts, perfectly timed with album releases or tours. Fans cry, authentic. Skeptics say, marketing. Was Harry Styles a fling, or was it a collaboration between two pop empires? Was Joe Alwyn truly her love, or simply part of a carefully curated narrative? For Taylor, love may not just be about the heart, it's about the brand. If love built her empire, feuds gave it fire. Her clash with Katy Perry over backup dancers spiraled into one of pop culture's biggest rivalries, complete with diss tracks like Bad Blood. Then came the infamous war with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. A leaked phone call painted Taylor as a liar, sparking the snake emoji storm that nearly buried her career. But instead of disappearing, she weaponized the insult, turning snakes into symbols of her comeback during the Reputation era. To her fans, she's a survivor who flips hate into victory. To her critics, she's a master manipulator who turns enemies into marketing material. Either way, every feud makes her stronger, and every scandal becomes another chapter in her story. Behind the melodies, Taylor is a ruthless businesswoman. Her battle with Scooter Braun over her master recordings shocked the industry, but it also revealed her shrewdness. Instead of accepting defeat, she re-recorded her old albums, branding them as Taylor's version, a move that not only reclaimed her catalog but doubled her profits. But whispers say her control goes deeper than music. Insiders describe strict contracts, staff bound by NDAs, and a team that answers to her every command. She sells the image of an underdog fighting the system, but many argue she's become the system herself. Taylor Swift is no longer just an artist. She's a billion-dollar corporation wrapped in glitter. What makes Taylor unique is her ability to reinvent herself after every scandal. From country darling to pop princess, from snake villain to romantic dreamer. She never lets a narrative define her for long. Every era, 1989, Reputation, Lover, Folklore, Midnights, is more than music. It's a carefully crafted brand reset. Her social media silence before Reputation? Calculated. Her surprise albums during the pandemic, perfectly timed to capture the cultural mood. Fans call it genius. Critics call it manipulation. The truth? Every reinvention hides the scars of the last era. And every time she rises, she buries a piece of the old Taylor, only to create someone even more powerful. Perhaps Taylor's greatest weapon isn't her voice, it's her fan base. The Swifties are more than fans, they're an army. They decode her lyrics, defend her online, and attack her critics with unmatched ferocity. When Scooter Braun clashed with her, the Swifties turned it into a war, flooding his businesses with hate. When Joe Alwyn and Taylor split, they dissected every line of Midnights for hidden clues. Taylor doesn't just have fans. She has a cult-like following that protects her at all costs. For some, it's loyalty. For others, it's proof that Taylor has built more than a career. She's built a kingdom where she alone writes the laws. And in that kingdom, Swifties are the knights who guard her throne.